All right, good evening. God bless out there. Hey, it's your boy Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, um, so excited tonight to be jumping on because we're talking a little bit tonight. And y'all know how I am about entrepreneurs. You know, I love entrepreneurs. I believe wholeheartedly in entrepreneurship. And I wanted to do this because a few weeks ago, we did a session, powerhouse session, where we had Dr. Jason Cannon and Jerry Mason, the kicking lawyer, on. And we had a whole lot of positive feedback because they are phenomenal gentlemen. They are titans in their own right. And while both of them are what we would deem as professional guys. I also wanted to do something with some gentlemen that I respect in the community that are in the trades industry, because I think a lot of the times people have a tendency to look down on the trades because it seems like, well, you know, they do backbreaking work or they get out there and work with their hands. But what I want you to understand is the trades industry is one of the most critical industries that's out there. And if we did not have the trades, a lot of us will be sitting in the dark, a lot of us be burning up, and all these other things. So I have two gentlemen here from Tipton County natives that are here tonight, and both of them have launched out and started their own business, and they are doing phenomenal things. I mean, they are killing the game as it relates to their respective fields. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to Mr. Corey Lemon and Mr. Travis Price, both natives of Tipton County. Welcome, fellas.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Rick, for having us.
Yeah, man, look, my pleasure. So let's do this here. I don't want to just take up all the time, but why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself? We'll start with you, Mr. Corey. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about your business, what it is you do.
Well, I own Subcooling Services. We are a fully licensed and mechanical HVAC service. We also offer appliance repair.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We try to do a little of everything.
Got it.
I've been doing HVAC now since '09. I done had the company 2 years, and you know we're doing good. Business is good, so don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't come from the bottom and rise to the top.
That's right.
Sir.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Travis.
Yeah, my name is Travis Price. I'm the owner of Precise Circuit Solutions. Uh, been in business since 2017. Been in the trade since 2010. Uh, yeah, I stepped out in 2017 and didn't look back. Pretty much, I have no regrets. It's a lovely thing. I like it. I continue to do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, gentlemen, like I say, thank you again for jumping on tonight. Because what I want to do is, and part of the things that I want to make sure that we're sharing with people is that not everybody is going to go to college. Not everybody's going to go to college, and not every because everybody's not college material. But I think, and I can think back to when I was in high school, and I can remember that they had shop class, they had automotive, tech, they had carpentry and all that other stuff back in the days. And those people that had that natural inclination to work with their hands, those are the classes that they went to. And I know I have a couple classmates out there now. One's a journeyman. I mean, he's just, again, doing his thing. Again, I don't know if he went to college or not, but again, following the trade, he is living a great life. I mean, just living a great life. And me, I'm not that guy, and I've shared that with you, gentlemen. I'm not that handyman kind of guy. You could put a 3/4 drive, and I don't know the difference. I promise you, I don't. You could put a gun to my head and say your life depended on whether you could tell us a 3/4 drive or a 5/8, and I'd be like, well, man, just let me say my prayer one more time, kill my wife, because I'm gone, right? But and when I think about that, I realize that that there's a lifestyle that you all have adopted because ultimately, and especially even to get in business for yourself. So first thing, as we start talking about that, what is it drew you to your specific business venture? Well, what is it that drew you to that? And start with you, Mr. Price.
I actually didn't plan on it. I actually was doing work on the side, kind of when I got off work, doing projects here and there, and ended up making money, seeing that it was working for me. Doing small jobs, ended up getting a bigger job. In the process, I was getting my license, my state license. I just said I was going to take it and try it out. Took it the first time, made I think like a 68. You had to have I think a 73 or so to pass it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I wasn't too far off. So I tried it again, took it, ended up making, passing it with like an 88, and was happy about that. So had my license at that point, and I was fully licensed, still just doing small jobs in the union. I was working in the union, by the way, and man, it just worked one thing after another. Next thing you know, I'm out. I got laid off from the union, doing small jobs here and there. It just kept going. Next thing you know, I'm getting my business license. Next thing you know, we're adding more people on. Next thing you know, it just grows on its own, when you're doing the good quality work.
That's right. That's right. And that's phenomenal. So let me ask you this question before we get to Mr. Lemon. How does it feel right now to look back and realize I failed my first test, but because I persevered, now I'm out here signing checks. I'm signing people payroll checks.
It was a big accomplishment because I never graduated. I never finished school. I ended up getting my GED, and I took some college courses, stuff like that, and went through electrical trade. Ended up going through school, but I never really knew how smart I was as far as taking tests or anything like that. Ended up passing, so it was a big deal for myself. I was happy about it.
Yeah.
Then you never know really what you can do until you just really put your best foot forward. I realized that.
That's phenomenal, man. That's phenomenal. All right, Mr. Lemon, let's talk about it a little bit, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I've been doing HVAC since 09. So I pretty much a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I had to have back surgery. And the doctor, he was telling me if I want to stay in my line of work that I'm in, I would have to pretty much come up with other options, and me working for other companies, learning really the political side and the tech side of it.
Right.
I just like Travis, I didn't graduate. I got my GED.
Mm-hmm.
I also got my EMT. I went and got my EMT after school, but I don't want to see all the blood.
Right.
Yes, sir. I respect what they do, but I don't want to see all the blood.
I know that's right.
So yes, sir. So I went to tech school and pretty much passed everything. I have my CMC-C license. That is the big mechanical license. So, just like Travis, I took it twice. And when I did pass, he was the first guy I called. On the highway.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And ever since then, it was tough at first. I can tell you, a guy that I had lunch with, his name is Oscar P. He owns Opox. And he was just telling me the first 3 years of business is going to be pretty much your hardest. I'm going into my second, things looking up. We're thinking about putting another location in Dyer County. So,
wow.
Yes. So, like I say, I don't let nobody tell you can't do it. And that is motivation, because I done heard that a couple of times. You can't do this, you can't do it. I did it, boss.
Absolutely. And again, like I say, what I like about it, you're doing it in big fashion. I follow both of y'all on Facebook, and what really drew me to you, gentlemen, is how you're proud of your brand. You see what I'm saying? I see what Mr. Lemon, I see what Corey go on there, and all right, what's wrong with this? And I ain't gonna lie, man, I was sitting there, man, for about 15 minutes, man, I don't even see it, dog. I don't even know what he's talking about here. You know what I'm saying? But I love that you're showing that side of what it is that you do. Because now, but again, like I told, I ain't gonna never be that guy, to turn no wrenches or anything like that per se. But I admire what it is that you're doing because it shows your passion for what it is that you're doing. And again, the fact that you've built businesses where you all are making sure that folks' families are taken care of, that's a big thing that I think sometimes people forget about. Again, so I'm a guy, I guess I'll be considered more one of the professional side, as far as my day job is concerned. Because I got my degrees. I didn't go to school right after high school. I went into the military, and so there's another aspect right there that I want to make sure that we put out, because what I'm seeing is a lot of young people are feeling the pressure that I've got to go to college, and if I don't go to college, people are going to look at me kind of crazy. But man, and you fellas can feel free to chime in here. But I found out that when I graduated from high school, what people in high school thought about me didn't mean a thing.
Not nothing.
Did anybody else realize? Man, look here. So we spent all these years trying to be social, trying to get these folks to like us and trying to get their approval. But then when you get grown, what they think about you don't hold a hill of beans.
Right.
Yes, sir. When you start doing good, you will see who your real friends are.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time, and funny you say that, because I know that there are people who won't call you because they feel like I don't want to help you succeed anymore. Now they're like, I don't know what you hating on me for, bro. I'm the one trying to help. You get what I'm saying? But again,
I truly do.
people are petty. People are petty. But that's why I named this the trades. They're always necessary. There's always going to be room for electricians. There's always going to be room for HVAC. There's always going to be room for truck drivers. Well, I kind of put a plug in that because right now that's about oversaturated, right? There's truck drivers everywhere, and everybody want to have a truck driver. So let me ask you this question then, as I'm thinking about it. What made you choose working in the electric field, or what made you choose working in HVAC? Was it because everybody was doing it? Was it because you saw the need? What made you choose that field per se?
Well, I was doing satellite, DirecTV, cable. I was working in them trades first, and then I just was going to houses. And I was looking at the electricals, like, man, that's pretty cool. I wonder what it take to get in that trade, what it take to do that.
Right.
That's pretty much what I was doing, and found interest in it. Didn't really know how to get in there. Ended up calling around, asking around, getting in the program. Had to take a big pay cut to get through the apprenticeship. That's what they don't tell you, that you have to take a pay cut. Your apprenticeship is not going to pay you top dollar when you first start out. And most people getting into the trade, that's where they stop it. They get out of it because of the initial pay. And matter of fact, my second year, I was going to drop out because of money issues. So now I'm glad I didn't. So, but yeah, going back to what we was talking about, that's I was doing satellite and cable.
Right. Well, that's a great point that you bring up, right? Because I didn't know that, So why is it that they have the apprentice pay is so low? What drives that? What's the driving factor behind that?
Oh, somebody's got to train you. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Somebody's got to train you. So the billable hours they bill out, they can't get that money because you don't know what you're actually doing when you start off. Okay. So they have to cut that. You have to take your time and have somebody with this guy to show them how to do the trade, how to learn. So that takes time by itself.
Okay. All right. Okay, that makes sense. What about you, Corey?
When I started off, I was doing odds and ends jobs, but I was a correctional officer, and I was going with my mentor guy on the weekend. He pretty much got me into HVAC, and I was learning it. Like, he was doing residential, but I was learning it like quickly, like clockwork. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go to school and get I had my commercial. I went to school for commercial. We offer residential and commercial, But yeah, I went to school for basically commercial services. Um, but other than that, you know, and right now the mentor guy, you might know him. His name is Terry Dow. You know, I say he got me into it. I say, whew, it's been a long time. But yes, sir.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's hard work, and like Travis was saying with the apprenticeship program, that's something that we do here. We have an apprenticeship program, equipment service.
Okay.
So some our techs are training. You know, we have some techs that's been in the field for years, but you know the new guys that are coming in, like, we would rather train them, so we know they know what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So with that being said, so let's talk about that, right? Because ultimately the profit motive is why people that work, right? And you know, people I believe are starting now to look and understand that there is money in the trades. So how do you motivate a young Rod Hickman per se that wants to uh, get into the trades, but uh, can't see past the apprenticeship right now, and that reduction in pay? So how do you motivate a young Rod Hickman if I'm that guy? What is it that you use to motivate people in order to look past that and see where they can actually get to?
I try to show people the upside of the business.
Mhm.
You know, I could, like I tell anybody, you can teach anybody how to install in a week. Now, being a service technician, that's different. You're gonna have to learn some things.
Got it.
Yeah, a service guy, where you go in to troubleshoot electrical circuit. We work with 483 three phase. You know, that's gonna knock somebody in the dirt down over the door.
Right.
You know, so as I said, we prefer to train because we don't want no accidents, and we are 100% customer satisfaction. So we take care of our customer. We have a good customer base. We're still growing, and you know, like I say, you have to show them the ups because the downs, you know, there are going to be hard times everywhere.
Right.
You know, someday, you know, if you're working at McDonald's, you might not want to go in there, but you know, there's an upside to it.
Upside and down, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we check your bank account on Friday and and the check hit, you know, hey, that's your upside. But you know, there's more to it than, you know, just making money. Um, we do a lot of charity work, and
Mhm.
we help out, you know, a lot. So I said we just gonna keep it moving like that, and you know, hopefully we just keep growing.
Well, you know, I think that's, you know, but that's a valid point. You do have your upsides, you do have your downs, and typically people will focus on the downside. Um, However, to your point, you're going to have that no matter what you're doing. And what I found, that being my own boss, you know, um, there's a certain pride that comes when you talk about 100% customer satisfaction. There's a certain pride that comes with knowing that which I've created. So for me, generational wealth builders, knowing that what we've created and the products and the services that we provide actually take care of families.
Yes.
And those families that I've serviced, the greatest compliment you can get is when they refer you to other people. You get what I'm saying?
And
And for me, man, I'm one of those guys that I'm really big on legacy. I'm really big on health. I'm really big on, you know, what legacy am I leaving behind? And, you know, my hat's off to you, gentlemen, because again, you guys are killing the game. You know, I hear you say, Mr. Lemon, you've been in business 2 years, and you're already ready to expand to Dyer County. That's phenomenal. You know, that's phenomenal. You know, in all sense of the word. You know, the fact of you're growing like that, and there's such a demand for Corey Lemon. And so, as I hope some of the young people that will hear this will listen, and even some of the older people who may say, man, I'm sick and tired of clocking this job with these folk here. Is there a way that maybe they can do the apprenticeship, but maybe have a part-time job to help supplement the income? Or is there a way that you can, you know, okay, I guess it ain't.
No,
Well, with the apprenticeship, there's more involved because like now I have some that's paying for classes for. Some I'm gonna send to Chicago for some classes. So there's just more to it than what they're making because they're getting training and classes.
Mhm.
And-
well, and then it's not about. I mean, you don't want to come into trade just about the money. Like you really got to have some type of like you got to like what you're doing. You got if you're good with your hands, you like working on things. This is good, but it's not going to be good for somebody who does not like those things, who don't like tools, and who don't like getting your hands dirty and stuff like that. It's not all about the money though in the beginning, especially because you're not going to make a lot of money in the beginning, but you're going to make enough to get by, but not enough. Like it's not something we're just going to get rich right out the door.
Right.
You actually have to put in the work and it take projects to put in and jobs to put in. Until you learn how to do that, you're not going to be able to make what you want to make in the beginning.
Absolutely.
So
So
they have to understand that.
yeah. So and I heard you say that earlier. So how does one advance in the trades? Now, in my head, and again, I'm not that guy, but in my head, I'm thinking once you said something, Corey. You said you could teach somebody how to do an install in a week. So that's pretty much what, just taking it out of the box, putting it wherever it needs to be, putting the foam and stuff around them,
Yes,
right?
sir. But the real problem is when when it's already there and it's not working.
Right.
That's
Just
that's
that troubleshooting, where to go.
coming in. Yes, sir.
Right. Right. And so that's that. So how does one learn that? Is that where the apprenticeship comes from, where they'll go out on a job with you and you'll triage it, or one of your trainers will triage it, and then you'll that way they can kind of know what it was?
Hey, Corey, tell them about the books you got to read and the studying and it's a lot of skill you got to learn.
Man, I had 14 books.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And that test was 6 hours long. 6 hours. Yes. The
Right.
mechanical for the HVAC was 6 hours, 14 books.
Wow.
Okay. Then I had another 2 hours for the business and law.
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot that you put into it. So when you get it,
A lot of leg
you're
work.
gonna be proud of it.
I mean, you got long nights, long days. Sometimes you got. I mean, I'm just being honest because you get a lot of people who get in the trade and then they realize, man, I don't know, I didn't know it was this hard. This tough. It can be tough, but it's very rewarding. Once I know a lot of guys that work with us that really like what they do. They love what they do, and they're glad. They couldn't do anything else. But what they, it's just not for everybody. But if this is what you like to do, yeah, you're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as a guy that's not a trades guy, I think one of the things for me is I want to be that guy. I do. But like you say, I realize the commitment that you actually have to give in order to be that guy. And so it's easy for me to just write a check and say, hey, man, come on, get it. In theory, I understand it, but you know what? Come on, get this check, man. But again, as I said, the trades are always necessary. And I think a lot of people forget that. And when people go to college, again, it's the same thing. They expect to come out and just make a boat ton of money. But the difference is you don't have any experience. And so there are a lot of people with college degrees that come out, and man, they're only making $30,000 a year.
Yeah, and about 200,000 in what's called student debt. So
Like, good God Almighty, man! Like, come on, bro. Like somehow, some way that has to resonate, and I think we have to actually just do better about making sure that we are helping our young people understand there are options, right?
Yes,
Again, it's okay if the trades is not for you, but I think at the same time, I think everybody should have a trade, right?
Now, I hate to cut you off, but on the
Okay.
flip side, on the flip side, it is once you learn the skill, it's very rewarding. Like the money you can make, the checks you get. When you literally can work a job in the daytime and go make $300-400 in the evening. Repeatedly each day. You can. I've done it before. So that's good money for the average person to make that on the side off the clock. So it's good. It is good for the average person. I love it. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I think, man, at the same time, I think, like I say, like the way you guys are killing it, um, I think you're setting a great example for those that are around to be able to see. Because I know, Trav, I've had you come to my home. We had the thing. We had the what was that? The circuit that
Circuit tripping.
yeah. We had it tripping. Now I ain't lying. I'm ready to run out the house, bro. I ain't lying. I'm ready to leave the house. Y'all can have this joint. If it burned down, we got insurance. You get what I'm saying? But then again, here we go again. You need the trades to come back and build you another house, right? So you're always good. The trades will always be necessary, and I just, like I say, I really appreciate how you gentlemen consistently let people see the business, and how you let them see what it is that you're working on, because people need to see that. Because when people don't see that, they'll continue to have these perceptions like, oh, well, it ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? And, man, I ain't finna be out there doing that. But again, you're always going to have need for the trades. They are always necessary. And I just think it's crazy that people forget that people literally forget that you are going to need the trades. So what do y'all got to say about it?
It's plenty of room out there. I can say that. Like I don't know a lot of guys that look like us that are out there, with their own business doing all. It's not a lot. I can tell you that is very very few. And I'm talking about in Memphis where it's a lot of traffic. We're in Covington, but Memphis is close by. So I imagine Nashville probably is about the same. It's not a lot. I wish it was more because we could probably network a little better.
Absolutely.
But,
well, you and I were talking as we were heading to the gun show, and you said something to me that really, really, really kind of stuck. And you were talking about how how it is that you want to make sure that like with the what's that called, the Ford plant coming, and you were talking about how you wanted to make sure that you were aligned to be able to be a part of that, and how when you looked in there you didn't see a lot of blacks in there. And I think to your point that we have to get to that point where, again, whether it's black or white, we start developing that connection, because I think it would be prudent for those coming up to partner with a Precise Circuit Solutions, right, in order to be able to go after more business. That was some of the things that we were talking about. But why is it that you think people feel that it's more about competition than it is about working together? Why do you feel that? Either one of you, whoever.
Ooh, man. Okay, on that subject. Well, there is a lot of competition, but I don't look at it. There's people that's above me, below me. I run my race, and I run it well.
Right.
After a while, we're gonna be hopefully in a couple of more states. So you just have to run your own race. You can't run nobody else's. We're not franchised. We don't never plan to be.
It just depends on the person because, like I said, it's plenty of room, plenty of space. And I know in each trade, there's plenty of space for. There's really no reason to have competition and compete against each other so much, unless it's friendly competition, I guess. Uh, I mean, I don't really see myself competing with anybody.
Mm.
All right. Well, man, listen. Like I say, I respect both of you gentlemen. As we get ready to bring this broadcast to an end, I want to hear from you. If you had to leave some parting words, and I want you to also talk about your business as well. But if you had to leave some parting word with the listeners, what could you tell them that would encourage them to get involved in entrepreneurship, whether it be in the trades or whatever the case may be? What are some parting words you could leave with?
Never give up, and I tell anybody, write it. Whatever you want to do in life, write it on the calendar. Make that date. That you sought. Just try to make a goal each day to accomplish that by that date. Because with my business, I put it on a date, and it happened like what I say a month before.
Mm-hmm.
And my business, we're Subcooling Services LLC. We do all HVAC appliances for Tipton County, Shelby, Lauderdale, and Haywood. And like I said, eventually, hopefully, we'll be in Dare County.
That's phenomenal, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
phenomenal, man.
That's a big
Wonderful.
time.
And also, like I was telling you about to the referrals. I'm the HVAC guy for the BNI in Tipton County. And BNI, if you don't know, that's Business Network International, and like I say, it's international. So just gotta network, keep your just keep it on a straight path. Don't look to the left or right, look straight.
That's right. Wonderful. What about you, Mr. Price?
Well, you got to know what your reason for. When it comes to entrepreneurship, it's not about just being a boss. I hear a lot of people say that they just want to be their own boss and this and that. But first, you got to know really how to be a good worker. I'm real big on that. Like I worked in trades and took orders from others, and was okay with that. You got to be okay with that first
That's
before
right.
you can go out and give orders.
That's
And
right.
actually take time studying and learning your skill, learning your craft. That's what you're selling. So you can't get in the trade. You can't be a roofer if you don't really have the time and don't know how to do the roofs, because you're gonna be out there losing customers, making people mad, running off with money, pissing people off. So
Yeah.
overall, I mean, just learning your trade, learning your skill, study, learn this stuff, and then you can pursue your own business and do your own thing.
That's right. And that's phenomenal because, again, my hat's off to both of you gentlemen because I heard both of you say that both of you got your GEDs. And so, again, I want to just kind of put this out there for those that are listening. May say, man, I can't, I don't have my GED or this, that, and the other. Well, listen, here are two bosses. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, for guys who got felony convictions, who got misdemeanors, they got things that they can't work in other trades. This is a good field to get in. It's plenty of guys who are felons that we work with, that we hire. I hired a guy last year who had he did 12 years aggravated murder. Was one of my best guys
That's right.
and had no trouble. He worked out there, had a good time, working with us. So this is a good trade, and it's high in demand. Like we're looking for guys all the time. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yes, and we are hiring right now in Atoka, Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just phenomenal. And like I say, to see you all overcome the odds, because there are statistics out there that say if you don't get your high school diploma, the likelihood of you being successful is minimal. But here you are, both of you all have bumped the system, and you're doing great things. Like I say, you're taking care of families, you're employing families, or should I say, you're making sure that families are taken care of by employing their loved ones. And what I love the most is that you're growing, you're showing the growth. And again, it started right here in Tipton County, started right here in the metropolitan city of Covington. So, gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for being on. Thank all our listeners that came in and left. Again, if you need anything as it relates to the HVAC industry, reach out to Mr. Corey Lemons and Subcooling Service. He and I are going to do some business with our church very soon. And then if you need something as it relates to electrical, reach out to Precision Circuit Solutions there with Mr. Travis Price, and he will take good care of you. And I can tell you, I know Mr. Travis will come out on a Sunday. That's when our electric started popping. And I promise, I was like, let's get on up out of here. We paid the insurance, so if it go up, let it go up. Get my PlayStation though. Get my PlayStation first, right? I'm kidding about that. That thing, I ain't played that thing in God almost. I don't have no time. But yeah, so glad to be here and hope that those of you out there, talk to your children. If your children aren't expressing that they are seriously thinking about going to college, reach out to these gentlemen. I'm quite sure they can help them and guide them along the way, and maybe help them, develop a plan where they can actually realize what it is that they want to do. Maybe it may not be HVAC. Maybe it may want to be roofing. Maybe it want to be more in construction. But these gentlemen can connect them definitely, and they are men of honor, men of integrity. They're my friends, and I respect them highly. So again, so glad to have them on. I'm your boy, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where we work on retirement plans and life insurance. And listen, let me say this. If you don't have life insurance, what are you saying to your family? Because again, when we close our eyes to this world, there's still going to be some folk back here that got to deal with that stuff that's there. So another episode. The trades are always necessary. Y'all have a blessed night out there. Take care. God bless.